In this video, we're going to be looking at some respiratory models. So if we look at this model over here, and we start from the top, as we talked about earlier, this is the larynx, and this is going to be the trachea. Now, if we're going to be specific, this particular cartilage over here is the thyroid cartilage. The one below that is going to be the cricoid cartilage, and these C-shaped cartilages are called the tracheal cartilages. This is the thyroid gland. Now, the last cartilage here, before the trachea branches, looking at this one, this is called the carina. And once it branches, we're going to call them primary bronchi. So this is the left primary bronchi, this is the right primary bronchi. The primary bronchi will continue to branch, so when it branches again, right here, this is going to be the secondary bronchi. So we call this the left secondary, and right here it would be the right secondary. When it branches again, for the third time, we call it the tertiary bronchi. So the colored parts on this model are tertiary bronchi. Now, let's look at this model over here. Let's talk about the lungs. The very top of the lung, basically the pointed part, that's going to be called the apex. And just like we talked about on the heart, the pointed part was called the apex. And the part that the lung sits on is the base. So where it's sitting is the base. Now, as you can see, the two lungs don't look identical. This is the left lung, this is the right lung. This one has 2 lobes, this one has 3 lobes. So this is the superior lobe, and this is the inferior lobe, and the line that separates the two is the oblique fissure. Here you have the superior lobe, middle lobe, and inferior lobe. This is the horizontal fissure, and this is the oblique fissure. So the horizontal fissure only exists on the right lung. Here you have the cardiac notch. The heart kind of makes this depression into the left lung, and that's the cardiac notch. The muscle here is going to be called the diaphragm. And remember, the layer of serosa that's actually going to touch the lungs is going to be called the visceral pleura. That's from AMP1. So just kind of keep that in mind.